We are now 4 episodes through Gen V, and it has been insane. It's off to a great start, and I really believe one of the strengths of this show are the main characters and their desire to be good. Godolphin University is where these young soups go to learn, be trained, and go on to use their powers, whether it's in the Seven, just as a regular soup crime fighter, or for entertainment purposes. But it's also here where they really start to get manipulated. It's where Vought tries to make them power hungry and introduces them to their true priorities: power, fame, marketing, money, and just selfishness. And Gen V is allowing us to see these young soups before they succumb to that. And as our main protagonist group learns about the woods and the evilness of Vought, we see their desire to actually do the right thing and be true heroes. As we've seen with Andre, he is actually disgusted finding out who his father really is. Andre looked up to him and wanted to be a hero like him, just to find out Polarity isn't a hero at all. And that's what makes me love these characters so much. But is it possible that one of them are hiding their true intentions? Is Cate actually working with Vought? And is she more evil than we have anticipated? I hope it's not the case, as she has been one of my favorite characters so far. But a lot of people have been theorizing about this, and there is some evidence that can support it. I'm not going to take credit for putting this theory together, because I didn't, but this threaded post gives a lot of compelling points. Now we know that Cate has the ability to persuade people's actions and feelings by hand contact, but this theory states that she can also accomplish this with eye contact. For starters, we know that when she overuses her power, it causes the blood vessels around her eyes to be strained. As this Reddit post says, maybe it is a coincidence, but it's a detail to point out. Cate also holds a lot of eye contact with characters throughout the show, and as this post says, she did it when telling Sam to go to sleep. Yes, she did touch him, but she also made direct eye contact right before he fell. But one example that this post does not mention is when Marie takes Molly. We know Marie very much cares about not getting into trouble because as an orphan, she can't afford to get kicked out. That's why she wanted to stay away from partying and ditching curfew. And even though she got convinced to stay out past curfew and go clubbing, I don't think she'd take part in drugs. I think that's too much for her. She seems like she could be easily persuaded to go out and stuff, but I do think that drugs is too much no matter what. When it was first offered to her, it seemed like a quick no. She did not seem interested. That's when Cate said she could take off her glove and make her do it, but she won't because she cares about consent. But then Cate makes direct eye contact with Marie and says, "But you should." And immediately after, Marie takes Molly. That might be, for me, the biggest piece of evidence that Cate can use her abilities with eye contact. Everything that happened so far with the main plot of this show started with Luke killing Brink and then himself after finding out the truth of Sam and the woods. And Cate is the person most connected to Luke out of this group. She was his girlfriend and was going to be his manager, and she was always with him, as we even saw her helping him with Sam in the past. I think it's possible that she manipulated Luke a lot using her abilities, and in the poster we see her making direct eye contact with Luke. Which, yes, it makes sense because they are dating, but it's not uncommon for movies and TV shows to hide small clues in their posters. In the post, it says that she tries to come off as empathetic and caring, but can that be a mask? She talks a lot about consent, but does she really care about that? Because we have seen her use her powers when it was not completely necessary, but just for her own benefit. And throughout the investigation, she's been trying to get Andre and the group to stand down. When it was just her and Andre, she told him not to make any moves yet, and after Sam and Emma escaped, she agreed with Jordan that this was too dangerous to continue and they are in over their heads. Most of us have chalked that up to her being smart and calculated, which even I said in a previous video it made sense, but what if it's her trying to stop them because she's actually against them? But that last point I just brought up does lead into why this theory could be wrong. The biggest argument to counteract this theory is why wouldn't she just use her powers to stop Andre from investigating? That would have stopped a whole lot of trouble that happened afterward. She did say to him that she could do just that if she wanted to, right before they slept together. So why wouldn't she? Andre investigating this could and is leading to trouble for Vought at the moment. So if she was working with them, she'd want to stop it right away. It would have stopped Sam escaping the woods, and it would have stopped Emma, Marie, and Jordan from getting involved. The post here has two answers. She really loves him, or she wants to see how much he knows. Now, personally, I don't think the first one works. First of all, they just got together. But mainly because if this theory is true, that means she's been manipulating Luke despite dating and probably loving him. If she was willing to use her powers on her longtime boyfriend, I don't think she'd have a problem using them on his best friend that she just started hooking up with. And yes, it's possible she wanted to see how much he knew and what his plans were, but once again, nothing is stopping her from touching him and telling him to give up the truth. Maybe she has orders, maybe she has an ulterior, selfish motive, but this counter-argument does put a big question mark in the theory. But if she actually is against them, then she could be the one behind the jarring ending to episode 3, Marie waking up with Jordan and a big gap in her memory. On the surface level, it seems like it could have been Rufus because something similar happened with Marie earlier in the episode, where there was a gap in her memory because of him. But if you look at the episode 5 trailer, Jordan and Cate claim it happened to them as well. If there's a gap in time from the doctor's house to when Marie woke up, it seems unlikely Rufus would have anything to do with it, because as far as we know, he was not there. And it seems unlikely he'd be able to do it to Marie, Jordan, and Cate, being that he has to get close to them in order to do it, and there were other people present. But Cate was on the scene. She was also absent when the actual fight broke out with Sam, so it's possible that she snuck off and then was able to use her eye contact method to make this happen. And her claiming she also had a time gap is a cover-up. So there's definitely arguments to support both sides of this theory. I personally don't know what to believe, because there's a lot of evidence to support this, but that one counter-argument also has no answer to it at this point. If she was with Vought, why wouldn't she just stop Andre before it got out of hand? It does not make any sense. And that may be the one and only counter-argument to the theory, but it's a damn big one. The bias in me does want to say it's not true, because like I said, she is one of my favorite characters so far. I love this group and I really do want them to be good and to work together, so I hope she doesn't betray them, but it's definitely possible and the evidence is there. That's it for this video, going over the theory and the evidence for and against it. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think of this theory. Is Cate actually good, or does she have other plans? I'm going to have a bunch of Gen V content out as the season goes on, so if you are a fan, leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.